It's 12 o'clock on this Thursday morning. I'm off of school, so I'm in the garage. Everybody wanted to see a shop episode, so for the first vlog, so that's what I'm bringing to you. I'm here. This is our shop. It's pretty small, but it gets the job done. Yeah, so I guess I'll be going over a few things, like why I stuck with the 270. That's a question I've gotten. A few questions I've gotten about setup and about the car and stuff. Questions of why I'm doing the vlog I've had. Yeah, I'll go over all of those in this video. And right now, I'm going to work on this thing a little bit, and I'll get back to you guys in a few minutes. Alright, so first of all, reasons why I did the vlog. Number one, because it's something that a lot of people don't get to see in our sport, is the behind the scenes stuff, you know, shop, pits, what the driver does to prepare that week, you know. And a lot of people just see professional racers and stuff like that. They never get to see the grassroots, where American racers start at, you know, dirt track racing. That a lot of people don't even know it exists, which is kind of funny. Like, I've had people at school, I'll be talking about dirt track racing, and they'll be like, what's that? And it kind of motivated me to want to do this vlog because, you know, if somebody asks what dirt track racing is, I'll say, okay, go check out the vlog. Here it is. And they'll look at it, and they may get interested. They may not, but it gets our sport out there, you know. And I love doing that. I love our sport, and I love marketing our sport. Number two, it helps me as a driver in a lot of ways. Helps people get to know me, my fans, know my personal life and stuff. Not to an extent, but it helps, you know, me connect with my fans and the racing community, and team owners, sponsors, potential sponsors get to see, you know, how I run things, and you know, different tracks I go to, how I do on a certain night, and the behind the scenes, you know, what I do over the week to prepare, you know. And number three, sponsorship exposure. I mean, it's a perfect way to market your sponsors and show people, okay, if somebody, you know, if somebody sees the sponsor logo on our car in a video, they might decide to take a look at our sponsor at least, and maybe shop from them and whatever. So that's number three. Number four, yeah, I can't really think of number four right now. Oh yeah, it helps me also get a, you know, better feel for talking in front of a camera, because I'm not that good at that right now. But I obviously need to get better at that. Which is, it's going to improve me. It may improve the sport, may help me get sponsors, you know. So overall, it's the benefits outweigh the risks, and, well, I don't really know. I don't think there's a risk, but benefits outweigh everything. Yeah, so that's the reasons why I'm doing that. As far as the reasons why I'm doing the 270, I was asked this by a lot of people. Number one, financial. I mean, that's plain and simple. 600s cost more than 270s. Yes, our 270 blew up a lot last year, but we're confident going into this year that those problems have been fixed. And, you know, yeah, I'm gonna leave that there. Number two is because we don't know much about 600s. Not that we know much about 270s, but we have a really good engine builder with 270s. I don't want to mention his name right now because he doesn't want a lot of people to know that he's doing our engines until we get the issues figured out. But really good engine builder. He's been through a lot with us, struggling with us. putting his own time and money into it. A lot of people are that know he works on our engines are blaming him, and I'm like, no, the guy wouldn't put hundreds and hundreds of dollars into somebody else's racing and hours upon hours of his own time into somebody else's racing if he was going to just screw somebody over in the end, because really he'd be messing up his own name, you know. Like, the people that know him are going to talk about, or know that he's doing our engines, are going to talk about how the engine that he's doing is blowing up, you know. So, I mean, I honestly don't think that it's anything that he's doing. I really don't. I wouldn't see why he would purposely do something to our engine. And he does other 270 engines, so, I mean, and they run fine. So I think it's just bugs that we were working out in our first year, and I honestly think they're fixed. Really hope so. As far as there was a question about the chassis. It's a PMP. They're out of California. It's a 2001. Pretty old, but you know, it gets the job done. New doesn't make it better or faster, so not always. Yeah, and there was a few other questions, but I'm going to answer those in person because they were from friends. Now, I'm going to go over a few of the things we've done to get this car ready for this year. It's been a it's been a hard 3 weeks, you know. We've got a lot done these past 3 weeks, and I want to thank my dad for that, and my uncle Bob for letting me use his garage for a little while before we got this place. Thank you for that. Yeah, I'll be back in a few minutes to talk about that kind of stuff and show you a few things of what I'm doing today. Okay, so some of the things, obviously, we bought this car used 2 years ago. I don't remember who had it, but they kind of, I don't really think they used it as a race car. I think it was kind of just a fun thing to do on a Friday night. It never really had, I can tell it wasn't taken care of because there was a lot of rigged up, there was a lot of things rigged on the car, to say the least. One of the biggest things was the brake. It was just a piece of metal, like kind of like a piece of aluminum that ran from the shaft here to the brake pedal hookup. So it was kind of just improvising, you know, and it would make the brakes drag because there wasn't. It would make the brakes stick because there wasn't a. It wasn't coming. It wasn't. Yeah, I forget the word for it. Yeah, another thing, their bolts. The bolts in the car were old. A lot of them were stripped. We've replaced a lot of those. There was a lot of old parts on the car that were kind of bent, and we replaced those or bent it back into place. The shocks were like, well, the setup they had on the car was, I would never have went out with it. So we got a setup sheet from a few good people in New Jersey, 270 owners. Got a setup sheet from them and fixed that up. Also, the W-link was bent, and they had a bolt through here instead of a pin with a root clip on it. So the W-link wasn't free, but as you can see, it's extremely free now, which I love. I love that when stuff free. Let me think of some others. This year we've gone over. I tore the chassis down to bare frame myself this winter, and I've gone over pretty much everything. I had to retap some holes because they were, either stripped. Yeah, all the holes in the chassis pretty much are threaded. They were stripped out, or like on the front on a 270, the rod ends are 3/8, and in the rear they're 7/16. A lot of them in the front were 7/16. We had to change those. A lot of them in the rear were actually 3/8, so we had to drill holes out and change them, you know. That's what I mean. I think whoever had this car before us kind of just rigged it up to go out and have fun on a Friday night, you know. And I mean, we're playing catch up, trying to make a race car out of this thing. Yeah. Today I'm trying to shed some weight off of the car. I'm cutting some ends off of bolts. The chassis is pretty heavy. I mean, it's 200 pounds over the it's 200 pounds over the legal limit. So and for those of you that don't know, the legal limit is actually how low you can go, not how high, but you want to go as low as you can. So we're just trying to shed a little bit of weight off. Every little bit helps. I've lost 30 pounds, so I mean, that helps too. But the chassis itself, without me in it, weighs the legal limit. So obviously it's going to be heavier, which causes stress on the engine, along with the brakes that were dragging at the beginning of the year last year. Our engine builder fixed that up when he took the car to his house. One of the things that I do, it's a kind of a little pet peeve of mine, is I grease every bolt and heim end that goes into the car, rod end, whatever you want to call them. I call them heims. For those of you that don't know, these are heims. These little end pieces for the rods. They need to be able to be free in order for them to work right. They even have them on shocks, as you can see. They need to be able to be free in order for them to work. So I grease those up. Everything I like to be free on the car. I don't like anything binding up, torsion, you name it. When I put the stops on the stands, I always give it like a 1/4 of an inch from the frame, so there's room to work there. And if I have to make changes in the ride height, I go ahead and do that. Can't really think of anything else right now. If I think of something later, I'll get back on and talk about it. But for now, catch up with you later. Yeah, I just wanted to thank everybody for watching this vlog. If anything seems a bit awkward, it's because I'm not, like I said, trying to get better at talking in front of a camera, you know. So just bear with me. I'll get better. You know, that's kind of why I'm doing this. One of the reasons that I discussed. But thank you guys for watching. Thanks everybody. And like and share the video. And we'll see you next time.